Hey, Broadway Files. This is Jason Biggs, and you are watching the Broadway.com show. Yeah.
Welcome to the Broadway.com show, your weekly guide to everything on stage, or as we like to think of it, Super Bowl Superfan Central. Go Team Adina! Let's get started with the news. What's the buzz, Paul?
TV and Twitter star Laura Benanti is coming back to Broadway, and she's bringing a Hollywood hunk with her. The Tony winner will star in Roundabout Theater Company's revival of the 1963 musical comedy She Loves Me by Jerry Bach, Sheldon Harnick, and Joe Masteroff. Playing her pen pal turned lover is none other than How I Met Your Mother star Josh Radnor, who's currently on the boards in the hit drama Disgraced. But next time out, he'll be singing and dancing. The only bad news, She Loves Me won't be hitting Broadway until spring 2016.
It's been one fine day indeed for Shalina Kennedy. The Canadian theater star is officially taking over the lead in Broadway's Beautiful, the Carole King musical. Kennedy, who made her main stem debut in 2012 as Mary Magdalene in Jesus Christ Superstar, will succeed Tony winner Jessie Mueller in the role on March 7th at the Stephen Sondheim Theater. Also, Heather star Jessica Keenan-Wynn will make her Broadway debut as Cynthia Weil in the show when she fills in for Tony nominee Anika Larson, who will depart the show temporarily for maternity leave. Congratulations, ladies!
Idina Menzel has been front and center at all of our most important events this year. The Oscars, the Tonys, New Year's Eve, so it makes total sense that she'll also be providing the musical entertainment at the Super Bowl. The If Then star will sing the national anthem on live TV before a bunch of gross, sweaty guys start tackling each other and our attention drifts to the bean dip. We always thought sports could use more belting.
They invented champagne for the sort of week High School Musical's Vanessa Hudgens is having. First up, it was announced that the tuna she's headlining, Lerner and Lowe's Gigi, will play Broadway's Neil Simon Theatre this spring. This was swiftly followed by the news that she'll play the ultimate Pink Lady, Rizzo, in Fox's Grease Live next January opposite Julianne Hough. There are definitely worse things you could do, Vanessa. Congratulations.
Our new vlogger knows a lot of cute dancers hawking papes, shares her Broadway.com Audience Choice Award with Jeremy Jordan, and travels by Bubble. Yep, it's Kara Lindsay, Wicked's own Glinda. Kara's vlog, Think Pink, kicks off on Thursday, January 22nd and will run for 8 weeks. We're sure it's going to be a very, very popular look into the Broadway blockbuster.
Hi, I'm Jill Pace, and you're watching the Broadway.com show.
Honeymoon in Vegas has everything. High stakes, Tony Danza tap dancing, Elvises, and of course, a big scene where Jack Singer jumps out of a plane to profess his love to Betsy. So on opening night of the new musical, we asked the cast and their friends what they would jump out of a plane for. Check out the answers in this week's Pop Poll.
I guess I would jump out of a plane to go see Tony Danza.
For my health, I'd jump out for my husband, my kids, for Tony.
For love.
Love. Absolutely love.
I would jump out of it for musical theater.
I'll do it for free. I'm down. Let's do it.
I wouldn't jump out of a plane. There's no way I'm jumping out of a plane. That's crazy.
$1 million?
No.
An all expenses paid trip to Italy.
My wife. I would jump out of a plane for Maggie. I would. And we joked that if we do the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, which we did this past year, but if they ask us back and they wanted us to skydive to start the parade and land on the star, I'd think about it.
Big thumbs up to rumors that NBC is considering the 1975 Tony winner for Best Musical, The Wiz, as their next big live musical broadcast. This is the perfect idea because, although we love them, let's face it, The Sound of Music and Peter Pan aren't exactly the coolest shows around. But The Wiz, with its super funked up take on The Wizard of Oz, so cool and so perfect. Here's a proposition, NBC. You do The Wiz and we'll put down our phones and not hate tweet on the big night. Deal?
Thumbs down to the news that the Merry Men are no longer headed to Broadway. The Heart of Robin Hood, which had been set to play the Marquee Theatre this spring, is now playing an extra month in Toronto, where the musical is currently running. No plans for a future Broadway engagement have been announced, so it would seem if we want our dose of Outlaws in tights anytime soon, we'll have to head to Canada.
Our star of the week is the one and only Tony Danza, who's finally back on the Great White Way in Jason Robert Brown's new musical, Honeymoon in Vegas, which officially opened at the Nederlander Theater. As smooth-talking card shark Tommy Corman, Danza spends 2 hours crooning, tap dancing, and playing the ukulele in an utterly irresistible performance. Tony, you look like you're having the time of your life. You keep sporting those Broadway.com t-shirts, and your unquenchable enthusiasm is just the kind of high-octane jolt Broadway loves and needs. That's why you are our star of the week.
This week's tweet comes from Anna Kendrick, who did a stint on Broadway in high society as a preteen and even nabbed a Tony nomination before she became the reigning princess of movie musicals Into the Woods and The Last 5 Years. Kendrick writes, "You guys, I legit just got a residual check from the Broadway show I did when I was 12. $1.91. Show business does pay off, kids." Hey, if she puts that $1.91 in a high-yield savings account, she'll be able to buy a studio apartment in New York City in 1,378 years. You can follow this check-cashing star at Anna Kendrick 47.
Hi, I'm Bryn O'Malley, and you are watching the Broadway.com show.
This week's Hot Shot is one last look at Broadway's headbanging hit, Rock of Ages. Before the show closed on January 18th, Broadway.com's Caitlin McNaney snapped this kick-ass pic of star Konstantin Maroulis and 6 other original cast members boozing it up in one last blowout. We're totally gonna miss getting our faces melted off by these guys.
This week, Broadway.com and Culturalist are playing Celebrity Dreamcast with Grammy winner, record industry savior, and recent Smackdown champ Taylor Swift, who we'd love to see make her Broadway debut. We asked you to rank the roles you'd like to see Taylor play on stage. Because Swiftie is basically the poster girl for heartbreak, I chose Eponine in Les Mis as my top pick. Here's how you guys voted. Sabella in A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder. Betsy in Honeymoon in Vegas. Eponine in Les Miserables. Cosette in Les Miserables. Sally Bowles in Cabaret. Carole King in Beautiful. Glinda in Wicked. Roxy Hart in Chicago. Lauren in Kinky Boots. And your number one pick, Sophie Sheridan in Mamma Mia. Check back on Broadway.com this week for a brand new Culturalist challenge.
Smackdown time! Last week we asked you which Tony winner you'll miss the most when she departs the Great White Way in March. Idina Menzel or Jessie Mueller? Well, the results are in, and 68% of you said Idina, 32% Jessie. Now we turn to a touch of sibling rivalry. This week it was announced that Dancing with the Stars' Derek Hough was to star opposite Laura Benanti in the Rockettes Spring Spectacular. Meanwhile, his sister Julianne has signed up to star as Sandy in Grease alongside Vanessa Hudgens. Which Hough can you not get enough of? Whose project are you more excited to see? Tweet your vote of Julianne or Derek to @BroadwayCon with the hashtag #BWaySmackdown and tune in next time for the winner.
Thanks for watching another episode of the Broadway.com show. We leave you with a peek at Fiasco Theater's stirring new staging of Into the Woods, which opens this week at Roundabout Theater Company's Laura Pell's Theater. See you next week.
Into the woods without delay.
Be careful not to lose the way. Into the woods, who knows?
Well, look, Milky White, it's the butcher. Ah! The baker!